Good morning, Chronicle of my journey. It is April the 8th, Wednesday, and I just wanted to come on because I haven't been on in a while. Just wanted to talk to you guys about the process of healing. So we will label this Chronicle of my journey, my healing progress. And because I got to continue to badger you all into doing your self-care and your self-maintenance. So I know that with all the coronavirus stuff going on, I know that it's kind of scary to go outside of the house and you don't want to do appointments. And a lot of doctors are not doing appointments. When I went to Dr. Park, he literally came in the room, cleaned his hands, looked at me from across the room, wrote his notes, and left. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get that it's one of those times that we don't want to be in contact, but however, I just had surgery and I'm going to need you to be in contact with my body. So I need you to figure this out. But honey, he wasn't trying to hear none of that. I look good. He was fine with that. So we left. So I get that the coronavirus has us all in a tizzy about contact and all of that. But I will still say, make plans for still maintaining yourself, still taking care of yourself. Take your medicines every day. And when you get a chance, your first opportunity, please, sir, please, ma'am, go and get those mammograms. Your annual OBGYN visits. Go and take care of yourself. That is critical. This is a scary time for somebody like me who still has an underlying diagnosis. So this time is really critical, but it's important that I still continue to advocate for myself and to push my doctors to take care of me, even though this time is scary for them. And I get it. I totally get it. But I still want to continue to be your push to take care of yourself, to live a long, healthy life. I was blessed to have my grandmother all my life. And on this earth, she was here for 99 years. And that is because she took very good care of herself, I believe. And also some blessings from the Lord. So I want you to live a long, healthy life as well. And that starts with being able to take care of yourself. So take care of that part. I also want to say, let's talk about my healing first. Let's do that. In the beginning, I haven't posted since I think I had my first visit with Dr. Park, but he was pleased. So since that visit, everything for the most part has been going very well. I am up and about. I'm eating like normal. And I know y'all see these fat cheeks. Look at my face. I done gained so much weight. It's ridiculous. I'm just in here eating and sleeping like a bear that's about to hibernate. I am just storing it up for the winter, child. I am eating and taking 10 naps a day, and then I sleep all night. So I know that's not good, and that's not healthy. And I'm going to work on that part myself. But these cheeks is swole. Lord have mercy. But anyway, everything seems to be healing according to plan. Now, with that being said, part of the healing process is you dealing with your emotional state. And I know I've talked about this in previous videos, so I'm not going to harp on that. But for those of you that have loved ones who has had a bout with cancer, Dr. Park shared information with me, and I don't know if I shared this on the last video, but the YMCA, whenever this coronavirus foolishness is said and done, they offer ABC classes, after breast cancer classes. And so Dr. Park did encourage me to take those classes because now I understand what he means about cancer can paralyze you. And so now that I'm starting to identify when it starts to take over me, I see why the classes are necessary. I am in a support group on Facebook, you know, just like you just got a bunch of people that already share a common thing. So I got a teachers group, I got a kick it hangout group, I got the cancer group. And in this cancer group, I think the reason why the ABC classes are important is because when you're trying to support other people, it can ignite other things in you. So, for example, myself, I have finished my 16 rounds of chemo. I have done the double mastectomy, and now I'm just healing from that. But when I log in, it's hard for me to give inspiration to other people. It's not hard, but I can easily encourage someone else to try to get past the feeling of realizing you have cancer, because that's a slap in the face. That's like a huge gut check, like something you were never prepared to deal with, that you have to deal with. And cancer is a big thing because a lot of times when people hear the word cancer, they associate it with death. And when you hear it, somebody talking to you about it, it immediately triggers, oh God, how bad is this? Or what's going to happen? Or am I going to die? Let me get my affairs in order. Lord have mercy, I got children. I want to make sure that, Lord, I didn't reach my milestones in life. Like, I got my to-do list. And you just go through all of these thoughts in your mind. And so now I see why the counseling is important, because you can get stuck in that state of mind. And so when I see other people saying, today is my first day of chemo, you know, it brings back that memory of what I felt like to go to chemo for the first day. What I felt like after that Neulasta shot kicked in. It's a lot of emotional baggage that you now drag with you. So those of you that have people who have or has been diagnosed with some form of cancer, you can offer them information, direct them to the YMCA, to the ABC classes. And I'll try to see if I can find a link. If there is a link, I will post it. But those classes help you process what you're dealing with. Another thing that kind of I started to kind of understand is because Dr. Park is so heavy on, you need to go get this get your meeting set up with your genetic specialist and your genetic OBGYN. This is critical. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to hurry. He put the fear, like, I don't think he realized he was doing it, but he was putting the fear in me, like, oh God, what's next? Like, now I do have to eat the bullet of my cancer being genetic, which means, from my understanding, my body will always try to remake cancer. And studies have shown, and all we have is science. All we have is history. And all we have is, I'm pressing on this. We'll talk about this in a minute because this is starting to hurt, but we'll talk about it. All we have is what we have seen happen. So research says that breast cancer and ovarian cancer run hand in hand, and they go back to back. So as a result, if you have that happening, more than likely your body would try to make cancer in the ovaries. So they want me to have a hysterectomy to take those out. So should my body make cancer, it won't have a place to hide. So that's another thing that can paralyze you. Like, you got to live every day with the thought that your body is going to try to do it again. And then you flash back to how hard chemo is on the body. Then you start to get in a paranoid state of mind. So I see why the classes and the counseling are necessary to keep your mind focused on what you got to do going forward. It's also a hard thing to carry the burden of knowing I have to go back to be looked at and screened and whatnot for the next 5 years. That means for 5 years, I have to carry the burden of wondering, is it back? Are we going to find it this time early enough? The blessing was we did find my cancer this time, stage 1. And then the last time, my cancer was stage 1. So it's just hoping, praying that if it does return, you always catch it early. So, the healing process is mentally getting past the obstacles that are in your face. And in doing that, it does it does help you open your eyes and start to see life differently, because you don't know when your number's up. You know, you really hope that God blesses you with 100 years of healthy life and no bad things and all of that. You know, you pray for those things, but you have something that is already against you being able to do that. So the counseling is necessary in that respect, if that makes sense. So that's the mental, the emotional healing is a beast. Like I can see that. I can understand. Now, I have been doing well emotionally. Like some days I get down, but I think that I am well aware of the trick of the enemy. I'm well aware of the task that the devil has over my life, that I have to stay vigilant that God is bigger. Because it's almost like, you know, like it's almost like you have to live knowing something is trying to kill you, if that makes sense. And that's a really, really hard thing to carry. So when you try to encourage other people, or you're trying to encourage yourself, that can be a heavy thing to carry. So that emotional piece, you're always going to refer back to that. Another thing about it is I refer to it as taking another step. I was blessed to complete 16 rounds of chemo and do my double mastectomy. And for now, that's all I have to do. I have 2 more cancer partners that have to take another step. And I'm not here to tell their story because it is their business to tell their story. But I will say, please put them in your prayers, because God has another journey for them to take, another step, another mile, another walk. And I'm a firm believer that when we touch and agree, I'm a firm believer that somebody is praying, even the days that I don't feel like it, even the days that it's hard. I'm a firm believer that somebody is praying for me. And I thank you for the prayers and the thoughts and the calls and the text and the inboxes. I'm grateful for all of those things. I thank God that He allowed my journey to be what it was for me. But my friends have their journeys. So I want you to put them in your prayer targets. And they will tell their journey when they're ready. A lot of times when you have so much information come at you, you have to process it the best you can. And it's overwhelming. And so we're just different people. And I just feel like there's power in my testimony. So I decided to do video chats because I wanted, for several reasons, I wanted the world to understand that I was one of those not me people. And then it happened to me. And I want you to understand that it's possible. Everything is possible. I don't believe in the saying anything is possible. Everything is possible. You never know what assignment God gives to you, and you don't know why. You probably would never know why, because when you die and go to heaven, I don't think this is something we're going to be able to sit down and chit chat about. You got to move on. You got to go up there, and you got to live in heaven. And you got to be focused on giving God His praise. Your mission is here on earth. When you get back to heaven, that's a different assignment. So we may never know why God allows us to do the things that we do or go through what we go through. We just have to trust Him and continue to praise His name, even when it sucks, even when we can't understand why, even when we can't see why He chose to give us another step. So my friends have to take another step. So they have a little more treatment they have to complete. And then they just like me, they have years of monitoring. And that's a hard thing to swallow. But I trust God, and I have prayed for them. I'm sorry, hold on, y'all. I've prayed for their journey, and I pray that their end result will bring God his glory, because it's what is required of us, to give him his honor, to testify of his goodness. And I'm sure when it's all said and done, that will happen. I like that hospitals allow you to ring that bell, because the bell symbolizes you're finished with chemo. It doesn't symbolize that you're done with cancer. But it is there to give you hope, because chemo is rough. And as a result, they give you the bell as a means of giving you hope, as a means of giving you something to fight for. So ringing the bell means you've completed one step of your journey. But some people still have a couple more steps to take. So, we've all rung the bell. And, we're all positive. We're all prayerful. We're all just taking steps to move in the right direction. But God gave them a separate step. So please put them in your prayer targets, in your prayer journals, that they will walk their next steps with grace and dignity, and that God will heal and obliterate this cancer completely. And that we will put down cancer and never pick it up again. And that we will live to tell the testimony of just how God saved us. Not once, but twice. And not from just cancer, but life. God is still in control. He's still an amazing caregiver, an amazing provider, an amazing father. And we have to remember that during the walks that we take. If it ain't cancer, some of us now, thanks to this corona, we're unemployed. But God will provide. God will sustain. And it's just kind of hard, because it's like you just got through fighting this fight with cancer, and bam, here go this virus shit. It's like, good grief. But God is still on the throne. He's still an amazing provider. He still will heal. So the healing in that respect is sometimes you can finish chemo and still have radiation and still have more surgeries and still have cancer can metastasize. It can spread to other organs and they don't see it right away. Cancer can do whatever God allows it to do. It's not the trick of the devil, because guess what? The devil doesn't have power unless God allows that control to be released. So we have to remember that God knows. He's not surprised. You can't fool God. You can't trick him. You can't surprise him. He knows. He knows what he's doing. So we got to look at him and not the problem. So in our journey, in our walks day to day, we have to remember to be grateful that he chose us. We have to be grateful and thankful because he has a plan. Whatever that plan is, it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. And we just have to continue to pray through it. Check the word, through. We're going to go through this. Okay, so healing in that area. I'm off task. Healing. I said all that to say prayer is a part of your healing, and you got to have that first and foremost. So I'm just asking that you guys put my friends in your prayer targets, in your prayer journals, in your prayer life. Those of you that have fasted, thank you for fasting and giving up something for me. I know we did go through a season of Lent. So thank you all for that. And I'm just asking that you add my friends in your prayers so that they can take their next step and complete that with grace. Now, let's talk about physical healing. For me, I had the double mastectomy, and I chose to do that because the cancer is genetic. I told you about the process that Dr. Higdon used. So we just saved some of the skin. So what you see here is it's my skin that they saved. My port is still in. So we have a scheduled date of May. Let me look. May the 4th. We have a tentative date scheduled to have that port taken out. Unfortunately, I'm going to have 2 surgeries. I was really hoping to avoid that because I didn't want to be sedated twice. I just don't like all that medicine in my body. It's too heavy. But anyway, it's the journey that I'm on. So I'm going to have 2 surgeries. May the 4th is the port day. And May the 5th, I go to see Dr. Toga. I'm not really for sure how to say it. This is the genetic OBGYN. And then we will go from there and schedule and meet and talk about the hysterectomy. So there's going to be a hysterectomy coming down the pipeline. I really hope they can get it done in May so that I don't have to miss any work. My prayer, because if push come to shove and I have to teach ESY, then it'll be starting in June. So at least if they can hurry up and schedule it for May, I can make it to ESY in June. This depends on how things look. So that's my plan for that. Let's talk about the healing over here. So I told you about the process of him pulling the skin up, pulling skin down. But inside of my breast is an expander. God, it hurt. Now, the expander is from here to here. So there's like a C-shape thing that goes here to here. And it is stitched into the muscle. But it's not under the muscle. It's on top of the muscle, but it's stitched to the muscle. And it goes all around the side of my boob. And that is to help my boob, my skin, stay stretched so that when the implant goes in, it'll be a roundish type of shape. So, what I have been experiencing now, I'm going to get up because I don't really like nobody. I don't really like to have to ask nobody for nothing. I just don't like it. It just sets my soul on fire. I think that I'm supposed to do everything in the world by myself. That's just how I was raised. That's what I do. I like taking care of me. I like getting up in the morning, cleaning my house. I like, if I could change my oil and change my tires, I will. I just think I'm supposed to do everything by myself. So, I took up a notion to go clean out the garage because I really am sick of it. I've accumulated just stuff and I keep throwing it over in the corner and I'm going to come back to it. So I go out in this garage and I done got all in my feelings about getting it clean. I done cleaned this garage out and I done agitated the expanders. So I have worked the muscle enough to agitate the expanders. So then it started with little pains, like when I reach for something or if I turn a certain way, that pain, and I mean the pain, I could be sitting here perfectly fine at a 0 in pain and shoot clean to an 8 or a 9, easy. And for a few days, I kind of just put some heat on it, and I took my Tylenol and put ice packs. I would rotate back and forth. I couldn't understand why I was hurting so bad. And so I finally got a chance to get in there and see Dr. Higdon, because that's what I mean. I need you to touch my body and see what's wrong, because I'm hurting. Something is hurting. And I talked to the nurse over the phone, and she was just saying that that's part of like the healing process or whatever. And I just kept, you know what I'm saying, I kept insisting to see the doctor, because what I don't want is to be over here done cut something and I'm sick, bleeding out, and I'm about to die, and ain't nobody looking at me because y'all scared of corona. Like, no, somebody has to come and see me. Somebody has to look at this, touch this, make sure that I ain't crazy. Because, you know, I can be dramatic. Don't get it twisted. Now, I fall apart and be in here crying like a baby. Don't play. So, anyway, I got to meet with Dr. Hickman. He came in, he touched them, he looked at them, and he said they look fine. He said the pain that you're feeling is because you've overworked the muscle. So I'm assuming that, you know, me reaching and pulling totes down and throwing stuff in the trash and sorting and separating and getting stuff out of this garage, I done worked up this muscle. So it still hurts. Every blue moon, when I twist a certain way, or if I sleep wrong, because you're still supposed to sleep on your back, and I'm struggling with that because I'm not a back sleeper. I need to sleep on my side, balled up in a knot, you know, and it's just real hard for me not to do that. But I think what I also probably did is, when I sleep on the side, I'm probably pushing it in, and that's shifting that expander when I sleep on my side. So, I mean, as much as I can, I'm sleeping on my back, and I do, for the most part, I do okay with it, but I'm just not a back sleeper. So, the healing process in this nature is painful. So, I need to sit my butt down somewhere. That's just really all it is. I need to sit down. But, these last 2 or 3 days, they gave me a couple muscle relaxers. They're not really relaxing. Honey, these little things here ain't doing it. But now, let me say this. I am a firm believer in not taking narcotics. I just don't, as much. Now, if I have to, I have to. But for the most part, I stay away from those drugs because they're addictive. And what I don't need is to slip up and become addicted to that stuff. And it's very easy to do. So me personally, I bypass. I would tough it out with Tylenol for a long time before I even asked for any kind of narcotic. But he gave me these muscle relaxers, and I asked for the lowest dose. So I'm trying to pain manage with just being still and low doses of muscle relaxers. But they did give me 500 milligrams of Tylenol. So I'm working with these. I need some more Motrin. So that's why I rotate between these and the Motrin. So when it gets too crazy, I go and fall with that. Now, he said I made a mistake of putting a heating pad on it because I shouldn't put heat on it. Well, I had to do something, but miraculously the heat made it feel better. So I don't know. But now, and I had to get, okay, hold on. I got 2 or 3 things. We're going to talk about the gabapentin. We're going to talk about the neuropathy. And then we'll come back. So anyway, so that's how the healing is going for me. I'm okay. Like now I can lift my arm all the way up and I can put it over. I couldn't do that at first. And I can reach up, you know, in front of me and behind me. Normal. So that's good. So let's talk about, that's subject change. Now let's go on to the neuropathy. Neuropathy, to me, it feels like walking on Lego blocks barefoot. So when I walk, it hurts still, you know, and they were really hopeful that by the time I finished chemo, the neuropathy would subside and I would be fine. I've gained all my feeling back in my fingers, but this thumb ain't coming back. So I still have the neuropathy in my thumb, just this thumb. The other fingers are okay. Like I feel like it comes and goes, but it's very minute. But this thumb is just not coping. So I don't have a lot of feeling in my thumb. Like I don't have any feeling. And a lot of times I walk around and I'm just squeezing my hand like this because I'm trying to get the blood to go back to it. I'm trying to get it to pump and do something and stop hurting and stop tingling and stop feeling all crazy. Because neuropathy feels real weird. But anyway, in my toes, it's still horrible. Like it's the pad of my feet and my toes still have the neuropathy. And it's like every step I take is like stepping on Lego blocks. It really does. It's better managed when I put on a gym shoe. Like... let's see. I got a pair of Hirachis over there. I think it's what Hirachi. They feel good because they kind of squeeze. And so that squeezing kind of helps me balance a little bit better. And I need to stay warm because I notice when my neuropathy acts the worst, it's because I've gotten cold. And if I get hot, it's much better. So I got this heating blanket on my bed. Now, I've always had a heating blanket on my bed, but I crank it up when I feel like my neuropathy is about to act a fool. So the heat keeps me from being agitated at a high level. So the neuropathy, it's still hard. I can walk fine, but just know that I'm walking like I'm stepping on rocks or something. It's not a good feeling. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it because it's not really tingling. It's not really burning. It's just a painful step. I don't know. That's just the craziest thing. Anyway, now let's talk about the gabapentin. So they put me back on the gabapentin because apparently this is designed to help with neuropathy. But I also learned that this is a seizure medication. So that's what made me stop taking it in the beginning, because I was like, wait a minute now, is this going to spark seizures or what we got? Because I ain't fooling with this mess. But they prescribe gabapentin for neuropathy. Now, I'm still fighting myself with this because I just don't want to take this medicine and it starts something else. So I've been just kind of willing to walk on the rocks rather than spark seizures. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But when I started Googling and reading all these side effects, I'm just like, I'll pass. But I do have a prescription for it. I don't know about that. I don't know. I ain't fooling with it. I don't know. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about allergies, and then we'll talk about edema. I think that's what I'm saying. Now, I still think I'm allergic to something, and I don't know if you all can see. My face is breaking out really bad. And I mean, I clean my face like religiously. If I don't do nothing else, I believe in doing my facial regimen. I've been doing it religiously and I cannot stop. I don't know if you can see that. I can't stop from breaking out. And then if you can see here, I don't know. Something I am allergic to. I've washed all my sheets, comforters, pillows. I bought a brand new heating blanket because the other one was dying, and I could tell it was dying because it would only get hot in one spot. So I went to JCPenney's before they shut down the mall, and I found a king size heating blanket for $29, and I was like, shoot, yeah, let me get that. So anyway, I got me a new blanket, and that's been working great. So I don't know. I'm breaking out of something. I haven't changed soaps. I take Benadryl at night to kind of help. And I clean my skin real good. I use my regimen stuff. So I've always used turmeric, Noxzema, and antibacterial soap. And if I feel like if I put grease in my hair or something, I don't like for it to get on my pillows. So I sleep with a towel over the pillow to keep the grease off my face. Now, I'll change my towel out every day, and that way I ain't got to wash my pillows so often. But that's not helping because I'm still breaking out of something. So I think it's the gabapentin because I took it for a couple of days, and then this is what I woke up to this morning. All of my chest broke out. I really think it's the gabapentin. I just think it's that doing something to me. I don't know. Anyway, y'all see my hair growing back. Honey. I got me a little few pieces of little twig up here. Look at it. Girl, look at it. Now, this is funny because they already said when your hair grow back, it's going to grow back real pretty, real soft, real fine. I'm just waiting on the naps to kick in, honey, because you know I'm all the way. This had nap. But this little part, this what tickled me, is growing in a part. No matter what I do to try to brush it, it'll grow right back this way. But I got me a little piece of hair up here, honey. It's struggling right here. We got a little struggle bus going on, but it's coming, child. Anyway, the healing is still taking place. You can't see my nails because y'all know now I got to have my nails done. I know some women crazy about their hair. Some women, my nails and my toes got to be done or my life ain't complete. So, but anyway, I took pictures of the nail and it's healing. It's getting better. And I kind of sort of lost part of the thumb, but it's coming back. So everything is healing like normal, I guess, if there's such thing as a normal. So my nails and my toes are back. Now I put my toes, I can't show y'all my toes today because today is Do Your Toes Day. Because they need to fill in and they need to be scraped a little bit and all of that. So I'm going to get around to that some point today. Anyway, so this chronicle is healing. That's part of the journey. Healing emotionally, physically, mentally. The healing is happening. So anyway, I said enough. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember your prayer targets. Please, sirs and ma'ams, please add my friends to your prayer targets and send healing in their direction and give them strength to walk their next step. And we just pray that God will send us a permanent cure for this cancer. I mean, we can cure anything. We can cure this cancer. So I'm just asking that you guys put those prayers up. And I think that's it. So thank you for listening. I love you all. Have a good day.